This is Joe Hasley, and it's March 18th, 2007, and I'm here with my grandparents in their kitchen of their home at 1401 42nd Street in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. And, Grandma, why don't you introduce yourself and Grandpa?
My name is Rita, and my husband's John.
And how long have you been in this house here?
45 years.
And now, you were a teacher, correct?
Yes.
And so you graduated high school from what high school?
Winthrop.
Winthrop High. And then you went to school where?
Cedar Falls. Iowa State Teachers College, they called it then.
And that's where you got your teaching degree?
Yep.
And then you taught for how many years?
We taught, seven or eight at the farm. And then when he came down here, we registered Joyce. And she said, "What did you do before you was married?" And I said, "Teacher." Well, they just kept at me to come teach. And I said, "I haven't taught for 17 years. We farmed 17 years. And she said, "Come anyway, the sister will help you." And I just didn't want to do it, but I went. And they were so good to me that it was easy when there's someone helped you, though. And I got going till I went clown up to 8th grade. But I went to the 8th grade all the time. I didn't want to go because they knew more than I did. I forgot an awful lot of geography and all that stuff. But they'd say, come anyway, you got to have somebody in here, And I went to the Catholic schools, the parochial, or the other schools. I was awful busy. I made a lot of money, even though they didn't pay too well.
Where did you teach before you married Grandpa? Where did you teach?
I taught Grandma Brophy's school 3 years, and I got $50 a month.
Now, Grandma Brophy was a teacher too?
No, I just lived at her house 1 year, and then my brother taught me 1 year, and another year I drove. I got an old-fashioned car Dad got for me, and I drove every day.
Did your dad have a car or tractors at your house?
He had lots of tractors, 2 and 3 all the time. Yeah, he had a car. That's one thing he had. I don't know what he had when we were little, but he always had a better car, and it was always a Pontiac. Every 2 years he'd usually trade for a Pontiac. He'd get a car. And yet we went without a lot of other things.
How did you meet Grandpa?
Well, I was at a dance in Independence one night, and I was dancing around, and I danced with my brother. And when I came back, Johnny said to him, "Say, who was that you danced with?" He said, "That's my sister." So he come right over and asked me to dance then.
Which brother was that?
The only one I have, Leonard.
Oh, Leonard.
Yeah, so anyway.
How did Johnny know Leonard?
I don't know how he did. I think he knew him just by seeing him different places. He went to a lot of sales and dances.
Where did Johnny go to school?
He went to Aurora.
And he graduated from high school, right?
Yeah, he was a salutatorian. He was smart.
He was second in his class?
Yeah. There weren't very many in the class.
He was a very excellent student, though, wasn't he?
Yes, he was.
And because you told me that he used to read to the kids all the time?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he did. I think that helped. Yep. He was a great father. A wonderful father.
And now you used to go to dances. That's what you guys did on Fridays and Saturdays.
Friday,
right?
Saturday, and Sunday night we went. Friday to Manchester, Saturday to Old Wine, and Sunday to Independence, the gala. Yeah.
And that was always a live group, right?
Yes, they're all our ages at that time, but they don't have that anymore. We used to have an awful lot of fun.
But they just played. Now, did they even have electrical setup, or was that just all?
No, they had the different people come. We went to Garnavilla one night. Was it? Yeah, and Jan Garber played. We came down here one night, and Lawrence Welk played. And we went to Old Wine different times. Sometimes they'd have a nice one, playing.
Who was Leo Greco? I heard him on the radio when I was growing up.
Oh, he was from Old Wine, but he was in service. But when he came back, he got a band together. I guess he used to play in service too, but he got a band together, and he's been very good. He's on every Sunday morning. Yet he tapes it. He's just teach it. He'll take everybody's, like you got the Irish, today Paul called and said, your Irish singers on, that Danny O'Donnell. He'd get the tapes and plays them, just to entertain the people. And that's from 7:30 till about 12 every day.
Every Sunday?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh.
Now, when you were married, tell me a little bit about that. That was December 27th, you said?
Yeah.
And do you remember the year?
1943.
43? Mm-hmm. And what was that like?
It was very simple. Just my folks were there.
And who were your best men and your bridesmaids?
Let me think. Dolores stood up. Nick Quint. No, Nick Quint. Let's see, Nick stood up with us. We were supposed to have Eddie Helms, and he was at war, so Nick Quint stood up with us. And Dolores, yeah. Dolores. Let's see now, I don't know. We had a bridesmaid.
Where were you married?
At Winthrop, St. Patrick's.
And was Grandpa Catholic?
Oh, yeah. My dad, you mean?
No, I mean Johnny.
Oh, no. They didn't belong to any religion at all.
But he started going to church with you, right?
Yeah. He had to go 6 weeks before to take instructions. But I went with him, but they never talked about religion. It was a little of everything. He was quite a priest. He was quite a priest. He looked at your shoes and looked you up and down and just talked about everybody in the parish. We had a lot of fun. No, he never talked about religion.
Did Grandpa like going to church?
He sure did. He really did. When we had fights, it was never about religion. No, we always got along about religion.
He was a very sociable person. He liked
he liked people. He loved to go in either the Catholic and the Protestant thing. We always went to the dinners and picnics and so on. He was just glad, and he was good to take care of the kids and so on.
And you had a lot of people out there at the farm, didn't you? You always had guests and
we had
people sitting down to dinner.
Yeah, we had a lot of company. We had a lot of relatives around there too, A lot of relatives. There was 10 in Dad's family, 7 girls and 3 boys. So they lived all around Winthrop. They're all buried in the Winthrop Cemetery.
Where were your parents from?
My mother was from Masonville, just say about 12 miles east of Winthrop. And Dad was from Winthrop.
And what about your grandparents?
My grandparents, my grandma was the only one. She had 6 kids, but the dad died when my mother was, I think, 3 years old. Yeah, and he said when she was born, he knew she was musical. She used to sing, and said, you buy her a piano when she gets old enough, and they did. And she took a few lessons and learned how to play.
Now, you had some grandparents that actually came from Ireland, correct?
The grandparents, yes.
On which side of the family?
Both sides. I don't know, there's great-grandmas both grandmas, great-grandmas did. Okay. One was a Kelly and one was a McDevitt.
So you lived on the farm in Winthrop.
3.5 miles south of Winthrop.
South of Winthrop?
Mm-hmm. A farm south of Winthrop, yeah.
That's where you grew up, or where his place, your home place is?
Your home place, where I grew up, yeah. And he was 3 miles north of Winthrop, of the paving. Right straight, well, he was about, we were a mile south of Winthrop, of the paving, and he was 3 miles north, so that's as far, when he moved from his place, that was quite a ways there. That was down to his dad's farm. His dad lived 5 miles north of our place when we moved there. But his dad owned that place, and then we bought it from him.
So you moved to Grandpa's farm when you married him in 1943.
Yeah.
And Grandpa farmed...
he had his own farm.
Corn and soybeans?
Yep.
And he raised some cattle too, didn't he?
Yeah. He did both, and we did both.
And you raised chickens?
Yep.
What kind of chickens were those again?
They weren't red hens. I don't remember, but we had capons.
Capons. And you raised those capons?
Yes, we did. I don't know whether we got 300 or how many we did. I just don't remember. We got them at the incubator, and we had our incubator ourselves, and got them that way somehow. And then I don't know how else we did get them.